In the far northwest of Kenya, there lies a vast and sun-scorched land. This is the home of the Turkana people, a place of stark beauty and immense challenge. Here, the earth itself seems to test the limits of life, with temperatures that can climb to a staggering 50 degrees Celsius. It is one of the hottest and driest regions on our planet, a landscape sculpted by heat and wind over millennia. For any living creature, survival here is a remarkable achievement. The Turkana have not only survived in this unforgiving crucible, they have thrived, demonstrating a breathtaking connection to their environment that has been honed over thousands of years. Theirs is a life interwoven with the rhythm of the seasons, a nomadic existence dictated by the needs of their precious herds. They are pastoralists, their fortunes tied to the health of their camels and goats. These animals are more than just livestock. They are the very foundation of Turkana society, a source of sustenance, wealth, and cultural identity. The search for water and fresh pasture is a constant, guiding their movements across the arid plains. It is a life of profound hardship, yet it is also one of deep resilience, a testament to the extraordinary adaptability of our own species when faced with nature's most extreme demands. Water, the most fundamental element of life, is a rare and precious commodity in this land. The daily quest for it is an arduous task, often undertaken by women who may walk for 5 to 10 kilometers under the relentless sun. The water they find is not from a flowing river or a clear spring, but frequently from holes dug several feet deep into the dry riverbeds. They labor to draw this life-sustaining liquid from the earth, carrying it back to their families. This daily ritual highlights the chronic state of dehydration that is a simple, unavoidable fact of life for the Turkana people, a physiological challenge they have learned to endure. This intimate and often difficult relationship with the land has shaped the Turkana for generations. It is a story of human endurance written across a vast, dry canvas. To understand how they have managed to prosper in a place where others would quickly falter, we must look beyond their culture and their traditions. We must look deeper into their very biology. The answers lie hidden within their genetic code, a remarkable story of evolution in action, providing a unique window into how life, in its most determined form, finds a way not just to persist, but to flourish against all odds. Section 2. A Diet of Defiance. The Pastoralist's Paradox. The traditional diet of the Turkana people is, by any conventional measure, extreme. It is a diet that would seem to defy all modern nutritional wisdom. For most of the year, their sustenance is drawn almost entirely from their animals. They consume vast quantities of milk, supplemented with meat and, on occasion, blood. This means their diet is incredibly high in protein, fat, and compounds known as purines. It is a menu conspicuously lacking in the carbohydrates from grains or the fiber from vegetables that form the basis of diets for so many other populations around the world. It is a way of eating born from necessity in a land where agriculture is nearly impossible. For most people, a diet so heavily reliant on animal products would lead to serious health complications. The high levels of protein and purines would put an immense strain on the kidneys, which are responsible for filtering waste products like urea and uric acid from the blood. An overload of these substances can lead to painful and debilitating conditions, most notably gout, a form of inflammatory arthritis. Furthermore, the sheer volume of fat would typically be associated with an increased risk of heart disease. Yet, among the traditional Turkana pastoralists, these conditions are surprisingly rare, presenting a fascinating biological puzzle for scientists to unravel. This apparent paradox, a diet that should be harmful but is not, points towards a unique and powerful adaptation. It suggests that the Turkana have evolved in a way that allows their bodies to process these foods efficiently and safely. They have found a biological solution to the challenges posed by their environment and their reliance on livestock. Their physiology has been fine-tuned over countless generations to handle what would be a toxic overload for an outsider. It is a stunning example of natural selection, where the very food that sustains them has also sculpted their genetic makeup, creating a perfect harmony between their bodies and their diet. The key to this puzzle lies in how their bodies manage resources, particularly water. To process such a protein-rich diet, the body requires significant amounts of water to flush out the resulting waste products. Yet the Turkana live in a state of chronic dehydration, drinking as little as a quarter of the water an outsider would need to stay healthy in the same conditions. How can they manage this metabolic balancing act? The answer, as recent research has revealed, is not just a matter of willpower or acclimatization. It is written in their DNA, a secret code that unlocks their extraordinary ability to thrive on this diet of defiance. Section 3. The Genetic Blueprint for a Desert People. In a landmark study published just this year, in September 2025, a team of researchers has begun to decode the genetic secrets of the Turkana people. By analyzing the genomes of hundreds of individuals, they have identified specific regions of DNA that have been shaped by natural selection. This research provides compelling evidence that the Turkana have undergone rapid evolution to adapt to their desert home. The most significant finding centers on a gene known as STC1. A particular variant of this gene is found far more frequently in the Turkana population, and it appears to be the master key to their survival in this arid land. The STC1 gene plays a critical role in the function of the kidneys. The research has shown that this specific Turkana variant enhances the kidneys' ability to conserve water. It essentially makes their bodies more efficient, allowing them to function normally even when chronically dehydrated. This adaptation is absolutely crucial. It allows them to cope with the low water intake while simultaneously managing the heavy metabolic load from their high-protein diet. The gene helps their bodies retain water that would otherwise be lost, enabling them to safely process the high levels of urea and other waste products, which likely explains the rarity of gout among the population. This remarkable genetic adaptation is not a recent development. Scientists estimate that the evolutionary pressure favoring this water-saving gene began around 5,000 to 7,000 years ago. This timeline coincides with two major events in East African history: the spread of pastoralism as a way of life and a significant period of aridification, where the climate became much drier. It paints a vivid picture of our ancestors' genetics shifting in response to a changing world. As the Turkana's predecessors came to rely more on livestock in an increasingly water-scarce environment, individuals with this genetic advantage were more likely to survive, thrive, and pass this trait to their children. The implications of this discovery are profound. It is a clear and powerful demonstration of human evolution happening in a specific, identifiable population. The Turkana are not just culturally adapted to the desert. They are biologically and genetically adapted. Their DNA contains a blueprint for survival, a set of instructions refined over millennia that allows them to live in a way that would be impossible for others. This genetic marvel provides us with a living example of how our species has an incredible capacity to adapt, rewriting its own biology to meet the challenges and conditions of the most extreme environments on our planet. Section 4. An Ancient Code in a Modern World. The story of the Turkana, however, is not a static one, frozen in an ancient past. Like many indigenous populations across the globe, their world is changing rapidly. Since the 1980s, a growing number of Turkana have moved away from their nomadic pastoralist lifestyle. They are settling in towns and cities, trading their herds and open plains for a sedentary existence. This transition brings with it a profound shift in diet and daily life. The traditional menu of milk, meat, and blood is being replaced by processed foods high in carbohydrates, sugar, and flour, staples of the modern urban diet. This new environment creates a situation that scientists call an evolutionary mismatch. The very genes that provided a powerful advantage in the desert may become a liability in the city. The STC1 gene, so brilliant at conserving water and processing a protein-heavy diet, may not be beneficial when faced with a diet rich in processed sugars and a life with less physical exertion. Early evidence already supports this concern. Studies of urbanized Turkana are beginning to show higher rates of lifestyle diseases, such as hypertension, kidney dysfunction, and heart disease, which are rare among their pastoralist relatives. The genetic adaptations that protected them in one context may now increase their vulnerability in another. For example, their efficient kidneys, tuned for scarcity, may react poorly to the different metabolic demands of a modern diet. This highlights a critical challenge for global health. As populations transition to urban lifestyles, their unique genetic legacies must be understood to anticipate and prevent future health crises. The story of the Turkana serves as a powerful case study, warning that a one-size-fits-all approach to public health is insufficient. We must consider the deep evolutionary history of a people to serve them effectively. Therefore, this research is not merely an academic exercise. It is a vital tool for the future. By understanding the genetic predispositions of the Turkana people, health workers and policymakers can design targeted prevention programs. This knowledge, shared with the community through initiatives like local language podcasts, empowers the Turkana to navigate the health challenges of a changing world. It is a model of collaborative science, placing an indigenous community at the forefront of genomic research. The lessons learned here echo far beyond Kenya, offering insights into how we might all adapt to the pressures of climate change in a world where resources like water become ever more precious.